Okay, welcome to August 8th, 2024. My name is Kurt, and this is my Good Life Meditation. I just finished feeding the dogs and myself, and now I'm going to take a couple of laps around the property. So here where I live, at this tiny home, it's a 5-acre piece of land surrounded by other ranches. And there is another little tiny home right next to me here. You'll see it in just a second. Sometimes there will be people there on weekends if they rent it, but usually I've got the place to myself. And then the owners live on the other side of the property. And there's this one little trail that I like to loop around. And I walk it on average of about 5 miles of looping courses every day. So this is my first lap. I'll take a stone back at my tiny home and place it on a little piece of wood, and I'll mark each lap that I do. So this is the other tiny house, but it pretty much stands empty all the time. All right, so the Good Life is my daily remembrance of my objectives and principles. This helps me to keep me aligned with what's important to me. Make sure I'm preparing to make the best use of the day possible. Make good use of time, which is one of my objectives. I also use the time to reflect upon the last 24 hours, how I did with the various challenges and opportunities that I met. I plan for the coming day, and I ready myself for death. If I can do all of those things before I start work, I consider that a good morning start. Okay, so let's do it. First of all, last night and yesterday, it was a relatively good and productive day yesterday. Like I've been saying in some of my past videos, I'm rather underutilized right now. I've asked for more work, and the powers that be are making that possible. In the meantime, I'm doing the best that I can with the work that I've got. I've got everything all laid up and lined up, and just keeping myself as busy as I can. So even though, isn't this pretty? So even though I'm not feeling like I'm giving my employer good value right now, it's not for want of trying. So that takes away any sense of guilt. Plus, I've only got, and I keep saying it over and over again, and I keep telling myself sometimes, Kurt, stop, reminding in your videos about retirement. I'm even wearing a damn shirt. My wife made this for me when she left. Almost retired. I can't quite read what that says, though. It's a huge event. I can't understand how so many of the people that I knew that retired before me just kind of it came to that day and they just kind of left. For me, I'm making big fanfare and discussions and planning and constant chatter and thinking about it all the time. Am I so absorbed in myself? I don't think so. I think I am absorbed in myself, but that's not that. It's just that it's a fascinating thing, and it's an incredible thing to imagine being able to be still able-bodied at 60 years old, relatively healthy, although I feel myself declining, and then have potentially another several, maybe decades, years, or possibly decades ahead of me of freedom. I mean, that's an awesome potential thing to consider. No wonder I talk about it all the time. So it's not to rub it in. Although I do hope it turns out to be a cautionary tale for those that are young and are still planning. Please do prepare. If you're lucky, you'll make it to my age, and you want to be ready, so you don't have to work. And so here's the entrance to the property right there. There's the gate right there. And then the owners have their house right there. So it's not like wilderness quite like I make it out to be. They're very nice. But it is. It's not quite wilderness, but it is wilderness. And there's more trails that go over here, but this is the course that I take. So yesterday was a good day of work. I ate a little too much. when I eat a little too much, especially now since I've in my late 50s, 60s, it puts me out of sorts. Oh, bunny rabbit, there goes, hopping across. So I gotta watch out for snakes too, and tarantulas. Was feeling a little down in the afternoon. Like I said, I was feeling out of sorts physically, and that had an impact on my mental well-being. Feeling a little down in the afternoon. Just impatient to get out of here. Ready to go. I want to join my wife. Yeah, I feel that a lot now. So don't ever get the impression or any idea that I'm having a good old time separated from my wife. I'm I'm back at the tiny house, in the course, and then I'm living some sort of a bachelor's, married bachelor's paradise life. I'm not at all. This life that I'm living right now is something to be gotten through. Although that said, it is rich in it is rich. I just know that when I get back to Japan, that I'm going to refer back to this 6-month period often. There's so much implied in this. There's so much. Okay, if I'm back, there's my little tiny house there with all. You can see Rudy still looking. There's so much in this. So much. I don't even want to start talking about it because I'm going to save it. I like this little tree over here. No, big old tree, actually. Okay, let me carry on. That was yesterday and last night. Slept pretty good last night. The good life consists of 8 objectives and 35 principles. The 8 objectives, which I can remember, are to be always ready to die. Hi, Rudy. See, I've got 2 little cages set up out here. This one, they like to sit there. Hey, Rudy boy. Hey, Rudy. And then I've got another one over here. So both dogs can come out on the patio. They can come through that little screen there. There's a little parting thing at the bottom. They can come out on their own and sit out here anytime they want. And they're safe from the coyotes and the raptors and the owls. And you see this giant ant colony that just emerged last week. They're already running around. Okay. Oh, and there's a bunny. You see the bunny right there? Hippity hoppity. There it goes. So I'll take 1 rock. That's my first lap for the day. Put that right there. Let's do another lap. Okay, so the first objective is to be always ready to die, to have my affairs in order, my life's work complete, and my relationships in good order. And I did, to that end, I called my mom yesterday. She didn't answer the phone. It's the second time I called her earlier in the week too, and she didn't answer the phone. She's like that, you know. The reason I call her is well-being check, and someday she's going to need it, but sometimes she chooses not to take my calls. But I made my effort. So yeah, my relationships are sound. My life's work is complete. My book is written, and my affairs are in order. Oh, I'm meeting tomorrow with a financial planner who reached out to me via the X platform. Had seen some of my posts and offered their services. They specialize in people like me, expats, content creators, in fact, who are living in Japan and over other overseas countries, helping them figure out their finances. So isn't that nice? I need such a person, particularly for my taxes, someone who is expert in both the United States and Japanese tax markets. So that's happening tomorrow, a further effort to get my affairs in order. The third objective is to make good and effective use of my time. I do that by having a list, and I already filled it out for this morning. It's a little sheet of paper with a line down the middle, and on one side is my work objectives for the day, and the other is my personal objectives for the day. And I fire through those. I've been doing that for years. It's been a very effective means of organization. Isn't this nice? They created a little seating area here where you can sit. And if you see over there, See that mountain there, that tippy top? That's where Mount Palomar is. That's Mount Palomar, and the observatory is up there. Think about that. That is the place where Edwin Hubble, was it Hubble? Hubble, I think it was Hubble, who discovered two things for humanity. One, that our local galaxy, the Milky Way, wasn't the only galaxy. He's the one that discovered other galaxies from that observatory. Two, that the universe is expanding. Those two discoveries were made on that mountain peak right there. Isn't that amazing? I think about that. I come up here and I'll sit here in this little chair in the evening because the sun goes down over there. I can see Mount Palomar from here, and I contemplate Hubble working there and contemplating the universe. I think that was in the 20s. 4, to recognize to be always ready to die, to make good and effective use of time, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, to recognize true limits and true opportunity. Yeah, that's right. To know what's within my reach and what's out of my reach. To perform, I'm all messed up. To perform good actions, to recognize, forget it. I need to get my book and get more practice. I've got it all laid out. I worked for years developing these 8 objectives and 35 principles as my own personal guide to living well. I've been doing it now for well over half a decade. Daily recitations, active press up application, and it's become so much so though that it's just part and parcel of who I am, even if I can't remember them outright. So there's that. Let's call that done until I get the book. And the owners, they told me I could have something shipped to their P.O. box and they'd give it to me. They're very nice. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is to prepare for the coming day. So today, it's a Thursday. It's my last day of the work week. I have an interesting work environment where we get every other Friday off. 9:50 or something they call it. There's a term for it. That's what I do. So tomorrow's my Friday off. Today's the last day. So I already have all my meetings scheduled. All my work is planned. I know exactly what I'm going to do today. I'll do maybe another 1 or 2 laps like this before I start my work, which starts in about half an hour, 6:30 a.m. Then I will do my work. I'll take a break. I'll do another lap when I take a break. I'll take my lunch break. I'll do another 2 or 3 laps when I do my lunch break. Then I'll take an afternoon break, another lap then. And then in the evening, I'll take the dogs probably to Julian, or maybe I'll take them to Idlewild tonight. I like to take the dogs out after work. It's a long drive, like an hour each way. 15, 40 minutes, an hour, depending. I like an hour to Idlewild. But the dogs like it. It gives them some socializing. We go walk around the town. And I like it too. Oh, there goes a bunny. You can hear the bees. This big tree over here is chock full of, there's like thousands and thousands or hundreds of thousands of bees in it. Let's see if you can hear them. Do you hear the buzzing? Okay, what's left of my meditation? So that's the plan for the day. Okay, I'll finish with a heavy one. I decided to draw a line in the sand because I am constantly second guessing this retirement thing. No, it's not that I'm second guessing the retirement thing. But it is, more plainly, is I'm second guessing the giving up the golden goose. I'm currently well situated in a very, very good job that I know very well. I can do very readily. I won't say easily. Sometimes it feels like easy, but readily is the better word. And I get paid well, and I'm secure. And every day that I stay secures me even further. And it's so very tempting to just want to stay. To not, stay, okay, stay another half year. Stay another month. Stay another week even. I've decided my date. It's my last day of work is December 16th, 2024. And I'm so anxious about it. And I just have to ask myself, why? It's because I've been in desperate straits before financially. I won't be in desperate straits because I'll have my retirement for the rest of my life. It's a pension. Pensions just come, right? Unless the whole system collapses, which I don't think is likely. Pensions just will continue for the rest of my life. So it's not like, before when I was like, what was that, 20 years ago, when I lost my business. I didn't have any income. Yumiko wasn't working. We had a small child in elementary school, and I was the breadwinner. Now that would have been a reason to stay in any job. But I'm not like that at all anymore. The kid has grown. The responsibilities are gone. The income will be steady for the rest of my life. And so what's to worry about? It's just that it's so hard to give up. But look, I'm still vital. I still got some strength. If I trade, am I going to trade the good years of this vitality, my mind is still sharp relatively, for a little more money in the bank? It would make sense if I had those responsibilities. If I was a young man with responsibilities to do, it would make sense, of course, to do that. But I'm not. I'm an old man. My responsibilities are done. The rest of my life is set for, in terms of financially. I don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. So I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm just drawing a friggin' line in the sand. Grab a little stick here. December 16th, 2024 is my last day of work. December 23rd, 2024 will be the day that I fly away to Japan. And I won't look back. I'll come back if I'm needed. If my mom needs me, I'll come back. I've got that all planned out. I told my brother. He's here, but he's got small kids. I said, if mom falls down and breaks a hip, I'll get on an airplane and come over. I'll live in her house. And I'll take care of her and do whatever it needs to do that I can do. But otherwise, I will proceed on. That's one of the things I put. Remember I said that my day's task has 2 columns on the sheet, the work side and the personal side. The work side's filled out. One of the things on the personal side, because I do slip personal stuff in throughout the day that I need to do, during my free time, my break times. One of those is to make my exit plan. I've got the plan for everything for all these last couple of years, all laid out for the retirement. Yumiko going, getting rid of the place, moving here, all this stuff. But now I'm going to make the plan for the December 16th. Architect it out, make it, point out what it looks like. Maybe even start planning, maybe even buy an airline ticket. I got to do that. It's tricky because the airline ticket, I need to coordinate with my little boy, my little dog, Rudy, because Ollie's going next month, but Rudy's staying behind. Yeah, I want to go together with him. We'll get the same flight. Okay, I think I've gone on enough. Thanks for joining me for this long video. I wish you all the best. Be safe, but not too safe.